Good boys. Good morning. Good morning. I'll be trading for futures. Sorry, I'll be trading futures. Okay. First things first. Correct account. Let's see if the oil buy stop here. Copy. Yes. It's copying correctly. I adjust. Everything's working. We are ready. How do you get your trade small instead of going across the whole screen? You mean the line? You go to settings, trading, and then at the bottom here, you're gonna see order and position alignment. You can just put it to right. Yours is gonna be set to probably center. Or you have this toggled which says extended price lines. You don't want that toggled on if you don't want the line. It's not letting. Why is trading view glitching? No, I don't trade on bank holidays. Price action was pretty nice though, but again, wasn't for me, I guess. Give me a moment here while I try to sign in with the broker. I've had this pimple on my face for some time now. Yep, we're almost at 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. How fun. How do you do the opening range gap setup? I will show you once 930 hits. Would it make sense to show you now because there's no org yet. Going into the day, probably bullish here, given that we swept out Friday's low. It obviously could just take out these highs, fall short. I'm gonna check the 4-hour. Yeah, I mean, personally, I think we can continue higher. Dollar index seems to be quite bullish, actually. Maybe not. We'll see. Maybe dollar index will reject off this bearish fair value gap, though. Anyways, we will be looking. I'll be bullish going into the day. I'll write out a game plan now. Game plan. Go for high probability longs. Targeting London, Asia, and potentially Friday highs. Caution for range day. Safety protocol day. Half risk. Caution for rain day. Safety protocol day. Half risk. And what was I gonna say? One more thing. I forget. Okay, the last thing I was gonna say. Caution for range day, safety protocol day, half risk. Oh yeah. Cautious first 30 minutes, given that we had a pretty nice pre-market move of buy side then sell side. So that's the game plan for today. Then everything is ready. How's everyone doing? Why do I think we might be range bound? Because we have no news. It's Tuesday. There was a bank holiday yesterday, and then all the major news is going to be later on in this week, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. So it just would make sense that today's probably there's a chance that today might not be the most eventful. I've been long since 9:30 open. Well, most I think so. I think that's possible too. You like the polo? There's a Walmart T-shirt. I got it for $20. The time frame indicator. Okay, let me see if you'll even be able to see it. You can see the time frame right here though, the top left. You can see the time frame at the top left. Do I watch soccer? Not really. This is ES, guys. All right, 8 minutes till market open. Then we get to business. We got some evals to work on. We got some funded to trade. We got my live account, my main focus. Is there an economic reason? Not really. I mean, the market's not going as low as you think. It's not going as low as you think. You just need to look at the higher time frame. Look at this monthly chart. Sure, I mean, currently we're trading below the monthly open. We took out December's low, but really, the market's not really moving lower. The market's just going sideways, right? We've just been sideways for a really, really long time. I'll mark out the body range. This is the range we've been in since December 27th in terms of the bodies. I'll move the wicks. Wicks just do damage. Look at that range. We've been choppy for a very long time, right? Realistically, we've been in this price range for quite a long time now. It's been 81 days. Damn, 81 days of choppiness. Crazy. 81 days. Right? So, are we really bearish? No, we're not. We're really just going sideways. I mean, yeah, the daily chart's been sideways for like a long time now. I didn't invite you. That shit wasn't me, bro. No, the government's not even shut down. Why are we consolidating? I don't know. I think personally, dollar index has been very weak, and I think gold just saw a large move. People were just putting their money in gold, and I think that's kind of potentially one of the reasons. Um, but what's weird is usually we do see more of an expansion on indices too, while gold goes higher, which we didn't really. I mean, we kind of got it, but not really. What about the pre-market highs it took? Not shorts. We could take both lows and highs still, again. It's possible. If we do that, though, it's probably seek and destroy. We've already done our damage lower, and we still have this buy-side liquidity pool. And if we are bullish on the day/week, we have buy-side here, here, and here. Partial shutdown ended, no, didn't it? Didn't Trump sign a bill saying the partial shutdown ended? What happened at 8:50? Could have been any stock news. I have NY.AM open, but just trade the S&P. Game plan's right here. Hopefully it's quite clear. That'll be my game plan going into the day. Obviously, that is subject to change, right? Given, if we get more information. Org's going to be large. We'll see. Daily power 3. I would say it says more neutral right now. I don't see really any clear, obvious manipulation and obvious break. Maybe at this point in time at 8 a.m. once we got this breaker, but then we just came right back up. So in my opinion, daily power 3 says more neutral, but we could have another manipulation. However, if we do get expansion like this, then I think it's safe to say that, this breaker is probably going to hold and we get buy side. So that's why I'm leaning towards longs. Daily power 3 says neutral / potentially bullish. And the higher time frame is unclear. So I'm just relying on that daily power of 3 for my bias. We swept sell side and Friday's low, and we have buy side open. Daily power of 3 says neutral, but could potentially say bullish if we continue higher. So I'm leaning towards bullish / neutral going into market open. Obviously subject to change. Okay, I'll teach you guys how to use trade scale. Actually, I'm gonna move this right now. When you set up the copier, you need to, make sure that you test it. Okay, I'm going to show you how to test it. So right now what you see on screen, this is S&P 500. What you see on screen is my leader account, okay? I'm going to show you something. I'm going to put this here. Look where it says pending orders. See where it says pending orders? I'm going to go here. I'm going to place an order. Sell limit, okay? Look how it says on the copier, everything is copied perfectly. If I drag this, it, right, it's going to change to 677.25, okay? If I put a stop loss, which would be a buy stop, let's say I'm in a short, I put a stop loss here, go back to the copier, it should say buy stop. But as long as you're doing everything on the leader account, okay, you just have to make sure. You can always, 1, you can see your connection details, make sure they're working. 2, you can always see the pending orders. And 3, you can always see the live positions. Look, I'm going to cancel the stop loss. I'm going to cancel. See how it says cancel? Now there's only the sell. I'm going to cancel this one. It copies perfectly. You just need to make sure you're on the leader account. You need to make sure you're not making changes on the other accounts. And you need to make sure the copier is on the entire time. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. This copier is called tradescale.app. I'll put it right here for 3 seconds, and then we need to get open. We need to get ready for market open. How do you add the accounts? You simply click connect and just sign in with Tradeify or TopStepX. If you use TopStep. But with TopStep, you have to get a separate thing for their platform. They have a weird connection. Okay. You can't see my trade setup in the corner? I'm not sure what you mean, brother. Anyways, let's go to the 1-minute chart here. I don't know what this blue box is. Got 9:30 open. I'm going to switch to regular trading hours. You're going to see the opening range gap, opening price to closing price. Let's annotate that. Very important. So I'll be working on some evals here. I also have some funded. The P&L you're going to see on screen is going to be my evals, not my funded. Just because those are the ones that are being copied. So this is our opening range gap. It's a 17-point gap, so it could potentially fill. And going into the market, like I said, we're bullish, but again, we want to see a clear manipulation. So I don't trust this move higher. Why? Because look at NASDAQ. For those of you on TikTok, you guys can't see. Your code isn't 80% on Alpha. It's not. It's 80% on Apex right now. Alpha futures, it's only 10% right now. That's their best. That's their best promotion. If you want a code for TradeScale, it's not my code, but you can use that. That will give you 10% off for the first month only. TradeScale is already really, really cheap, guys. It's the cheapest one in the entire industry, so it's about as good as it gets. If you guys want to use my indicator that marks out every 30-minute opening price, that's this. RTH PO3 30-minute opens. That's why I see this nice 930 annotation. Code for TradeScale is SAVE10. It'll give you 10% off the first month. Again, it's not my affiliate code. I can't type it in, but it's SAVE10 if you want to use that. NASDAQ's pulling higher here. YM and ES are both pulling higher here. No model for me, unfortunately. Looks like we took out the London high, which is this blue line. And I think what I'm going to do here is just mark out. Let's mark out the org. Black lines. I'm going to remove that London high annotation. And we'll just mark out the org quadrants like this for now. So this is that, what was that 2.5 in there? Might as well. We're already here. This is that opening range gap. We're filling it. Remember, I'm assuming this low is safe going into the open. I may be wrong if we're not bullish, but going into 930 right now, I'm assuming this low is bearish, or this low is safe. My apologies. So if that's the case, we can find setups potentially somewhere here. I see YM has a nice bullish fair value gap. I see NASDAQ trading into a potential order block. We could offer higher prices here. This would be an early, very early protraction model. I'm scanning time frame. I don't see anything too clear. Again, my main goal for this week. Why is NASDAQ in the small window today? Because I'm trading the S&P 500. Good, Gatie says the big 4 hour on the left is inverse, or industry broker is still respected. The 4 hour on the left, the bullish one, is still respected. The bearish one is still being held, but we're trading near the top of it. I'll show you. You can see the chart here, right? This is the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. On the NASDAQ, it did inverse this. So I can say that. On NQ or NAS 100, this is technically inversed. However, on the S&P 500, it's not. So do what you will with that information. Why are you still trading? It makes me money, bro. Gotta make some money. Although that's not my goal today, but that's why I'm still here. Bias is bullish. What's the point of your indicator? Just marks out 30 minutes open. I trade the power of 3 under 30-minute confluences for each candle open in regular trading hours. So for me, it's a nice visual just to remind myself what exactly I need to see to click buy or sell, right? That's all it is. Just a reminder for myself for what I need to see. Right? I want to see a move below 930 opening price. And if I don't see that, I have to wait till 950 macro or 10 a.m. So given that we have no manipulation below 930 on the S&P 500, yeah, we could engage in this order block potentially, but it's a little bit sloppy. And if you look at the Dow Jones, it's actually just making lower lows. So I don't really trust this setup right now. If you guys noticed, I put my trade checklist at the top right corner. They'll pay you. No, they'll pay you, bro. Most prop firms will pay you. I promise. And don't use any sketchy firms, obviously. Just use the big ones. And we have the Asia high here, or the high of day. I think that's a potential target. Now, if we break aggressively, we may be wrong in this target. If we're bullish, I want to see us get above org and use it as support. If we're bearish, we shouldn't be really much so. Think of it as a fair value gap. If YM was looking bullish, I'd probably engage in this long. Something like this. But YM looks bearish, and we haven't had a clear manipulation. We do have an SMT here. Checklist on the chart. It's an indicator called Sonar Lab checklist. SONAR. I'll show you what it looks like. It looks like this. Trading checklist Sonar Lab. I just put it in here, and those are the settings I use. It looks like we are just going to potentially expand higher. Straight to Asia high. I want to try to get in a long here, but it looks like we're kind of missing out the move, and I don't want to take a bad entry. I think even this entry wasn't the most ideal, so not really feeling any fun. Been 5 days and Telsip has not sent my payout. Me too, bro. I've been waiting 5 days too. Maybe it was the bank holiday yesterday. I've been waiting on a topside payout for a while. I want to get into swing trading. How would you say I should do it or go about it? You got to start backtesting, bro. First, you have to develop a model or have a model. Then you got to start testing. So on these evals, I'm going to be risking 500 per trade. So don't mimic my risk because it's not what you're going to see on screen here. If I take a trade, is going to be for my evaluation accounts. My funded accounts will be the normal $150 risk. So just, obviously some of you are copying. Just be cautious that, the risk you see on screen is most likely not the risk that you want to be engaging with. I have 8 evals here being copied. I also have my fundeds open, but they will not be executing with the same risk. Is there a reason it's bullish? The market wants to run higher, huh? For me, there doesn't need to be a reason. Or help you with reversal, continuation, both, bro, both. Is my chart the only one messed up? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, looks like we're kind of missing this long. It made sense that 930 was going to pump, though, so it's not surprising. We already manipulated down here. That setup in pre-market's really clean. Now, what we have to wait for is basically a silver bullet protraction model. I'll full port next CPI, yeah. I'll be full porting every CPI going forward. Bro, I don't know, but both Apex didn't refresh my dashboard yesterday. That was my 8th day. What should I do? Email them, brother. Take a 9. I would take a 950 for traction as well. Take the 5-minute gap that's forming now. This 5-minute fair value gap, 1 minute 30 seconds. If we trade back into it and offer a protraction model, I would take it. You do have to be careful though. Because if we break aggressively and we get a bearish breaker here, that's a really bearish indication. Fundeds? No, I won't be trading fundeds with CPI. Did you pass Apex? No, we did not pass Apex. That's why I'm trading evals right now. I hate evals, but we've got to work on them. I don't know about Apex here. Shorts? I personally will not be looking for shorts, at least not anytime soon. Would I take an early protraction? No, we didn't even trade to the gap. Wouldn't be valid. Did NASDAQ do it? No. I want to see a deeper move lower. So 30 seconds till this candle closes. I want to see a sweep. Bounce. I'll trade the bounce if we get it. Obviously, if we just go, not much I can do. If you're really, really aggressive, this is a one-to-one protraction model. Because there's a small gap here that I just saw. Right here. So if you want to be like ultra aggressive, again, this is not. I'm not gonna take this. I'm trading evals with high risk, so it didn't even form. Maybe 15 second. Yeah, 15 second. Pretty nice 15-second chart, right? Like could be something like this. You can get pretty decent risk reward if you bought it now. It's 2R, right? But again, it's not my style. I'm risking 500 bucks per trade on these evals, and I'm gonna be pyramiding aggressively too. So. Are you bullish or bearish on FOMC tomorrow? I never try to predict the news. So this is our 5-minute gap. What I want to see is price trade back into it, and then we can potentially look for a long. It's not looking like it wants to, but if it does, we'll be ready to execute. I'm looking for continuation regardless whether we take it. Yeah. Until the market shows me it's bearish. Right now, it's just bullish, confirming my original narrative. We have Friday high and Asia high as potential targets. Yep, the Apex CPI count did not get passed. I don't know exactly how. It must have been the live trailing drawdown. I look for market structure shares on the 1 or 5 minutes. It's 1 minute's enough for me. Most of my work will be on the 1 minute. If the 1 minute's not clear, that's when I'll start to switch. Right? For example, there's no obvious retracement level for the 1 minute. So I'll go 2 minute, nothing too clear. 3 minute, 3 minute gap in here, but it's quite small. 4 minute, pretty decent gap. 5 minute, very nice, obvious fair value gap, right? A nice 50% level in the upper portion. I can see that clearly. So I'm looking at the 5 minute gap right now. Which just so happens to pretty much be this gap as well. It's also there on the NASDAQ as well, so 935, 745, so yeah. See a sweep of this low and then move higher. Then we can take a long potentially. Is trading on these lower time frames actually effective? Depends on your style. See this move lower ideally, just so it gives me a chance. I'm gonna double check the copier one last time, make sure it's copying. Yes, it is. Okay, looks like we are gonna get that move into the 5 minute gap. I'm not gonna mark it out fully. I'm just gonna mark out this 1 minute. We'll see. The first 15 minutes is gonna end here shortly. NY.AM violation. Yeah. So we still haven't traded the 5 minute. I want to see another candle move lower, ideally. This is a bearish breaker technically and a CISD. So if you are bearish, this could be your potential model here. I'm not bearish. I'm not expecting it to deliver lower, but it could. Right. So understanding where I would be wrong, what would happen if I am wrong. This order block will likely hold and send price lower. I guess I don't need this to mark out 930 for me because I have org. So there we are in the 5 minute fair value gap. You can see that trade. As long as it doesn't go below 930, I can look for a continuation long here. So if we maybe get an inversion fair value gap, now obviously we could just be bearish, could be wrong. But if we do get an inversion fair value gap here, I'll likely try it. We are approaching that 950 macro interval. So that's a good thing as well. And if we don't have anything clear before 10 a.m., we simply will wait for a 10 a.m. silver bullet protraction model and then go from there. Going down pretty heavy here. Starting to look a little bit more range bound. Doesn't really look that so bullish anymore. It's looking like it's potentially bearish or just more sideways. Or like it needs to do more in order to be bullish. I say that because we should have had sensitivity inside this gap. Instead, we closed all the way right through. So it does not really look bullish as of right now. So what I'm going to do is mark out this low right here. Looks like we'll probably want to take that. We may want to take that and then start pivoting higher. That's also possible. I'm going to zoom time frames here, see if there's something I'm missing. 15-minute, no, just a very strong wick. Friday highs is possible if we're bullish. Right now I'm getting more range bound confirmation, so I want to see these lows get taken now. Either this one or both. You fell for the trap? Which trap? Yep. Today was a neutral / bullish bias day. Today's going to be a half risk day. Now, how big are these candles, though? Let's say we took here 12 times 50. Yeah, we're gonna have to trade one ES contract, not even let alone if we get a really strong push here, like a really strong push, I may engage. It'd have to really convince me like that we'd have to start really going. We traded to 930. Have to really get a strong. I'm waiting for closure. I'm not gonna jump the gun on this. This could just be a tap for the fair value gap and break lower. It's 250-50 to not wait for a closure. If I was really convinced in the long, I'd probably just buy it once it touches here. But I'm not really convinced. I need to see really more confirmation. So we're gonna wait for closure. So far, no closure. We did trade into this fair value gap and respect it, but in my opinion, if it was bullish, it probably wouldn't have even traded this far down. Let's remove these two. We don't need those. Just focus on the OR quadrants. It's starting to look a little bit more 50-50. So we're just going to wait. Probably going to wait till 10 a.m. or at least 9:50 macro. YM reverse 5 points away from my TP. That's okay. It happens. Can't be nice and easy every time. If I was bearish, this is a really good protraction model short. We could tape read it. Just watch, not execute. And I'm only saying watch because I'm not really convinced in that bearish narrative. It could stop here. The breaker is nice. It would basically be confirming that London high is, or we get a, sorry, this would be a high of day here. It's possible. It's possible. It did wick pretty aggressively. Bearish order block. It does look pretty bearish. I don't think I want to engage in this short. I just don't think it's not clear enough for me. The narrative is not clear enough for me. I still think it's a little bit more 50-50 than anything. So I'm just gonna wait. I think waiting's probably the smartest thing for me right now. Waiting into this old breaker. It's still 50-50 for me. I'm being honest, it's 50-50, so we have to wait. Gotta be patient. If it's not clear, gonna be patient. I think this low is definitely up for grabs. We'll see if we go lower than that. Right now, it looks pretty bearish. It looks like it can come all the way down here. I'll be honest. I think it's possible just based on the way it looks. How strong is that actual narrative? I'm not sure. I'd rather just wait and do nothing. To me, all it looks like is we engineered buy side and sell side, and now we're running sell side and could potentially reverse. Like that's what I'm leaning towards. So we engineered liquidity, come down. This would be a double purge reversal model. Like if we did this, I'm in long, no hesitation at all. Just a clear classic double purge where we engineer, purge, reverse EPR. It's clean, very clean. That's what I'm looking at this as. Now, obviously, if we're bearish, this high should be safe, but I'm not convinced just yet. So I'm gonna label that as engineered buy side. There's a nice spike through. Like to see that. Keep this gap annotated and see what price does in retrospect to it. Does it slice right through? Looks like it's slicing right through. We may attack this low. So I'm going to annotate that as low of day. Pretty textbook delivery if you were bearish going into the day. Very clean short. You know, we manipulated above 930 open. Sub buy side broke down. Continuation setup here. Here. Pretty clean if you were bearish. Pretty clean if you were bearish. Pretty nice price action. Oh. You've never seen NQ this bearish? It's not even that bearish. Two, 4, 5, 1, 8. Good luck. I think it's possible. 2, 4, 5, 1, 8. The sell side there, yeah, it's possible in my opinion. Definitely possible. ES is close. Notice we got this inversion here. I don't think this is a good enough protraction for me to take. The risk reward is just not good enough. 1R. It's just not good enough. If it was better risk to reward, like if this target was like here, I would take this protraction short because now it's quite clear to me. Unfortunately, it's not really a risk optimal setup, so. You're looking at the wrong chart, bud. No, I want to execute this chart. It's not the right chart. It is the right chart. Org, we already filled Org. Surprised we didn't run buy side. I mean, we ran London highs, so we ran some buy side for sure. This wasn't like a. 8 a.m. orb. I don't know what that is. I don't use that. Looking at the sell side right now, I think that's very possible. Very likely, I should say. Here. I don't know why I still believe we are bullish. I mean, there's nothing bullish about this. Could it reverse after? Sure, it could reverse after. But right now, it's definitely just bearish, right? I think we can all agree. NQ approaching sell side target as well. Nice classic model. Start making some annotations here on how this delivered very nicely. And we can all agree that was a very clean delivery. Very clean delivery. Whether you were bearish or not. Nice breaker block above the buy side org fill. Right, took that London high. Now straight to sell side. Potentially a reversal from sell side. That's what I'm thinking is possible. The earlier we take it, the better. What would you target? The low right here. Lower than this, nothing. If we start going below here, that's probably it for me today. Because I'll be honest, I don't know if we can get all the way. It's possible, but it's really hard to see that as a target. It's possible though. We're looking really weak. In fact, we may not even want to look for long. We may want to look for a silver bullet short. There's sell side. Like that might be, yeah, we probably do not want to look for a long here, I'll be honest. Looks like a pretty classic sell day. We have to wait for a silver bullet protraction model from the 5-minute, target the weekly low. I don't really want to. I don't want to be really putting on a trade that has such a far away target. Obviously, we can target this as well. Old gap. Yeah, this looks like it's going to slice right through. I don't think I would be bullish. To me, everything is really pointing lower now. I think it's quite obvious. Daily Power 3 says bearish as well. You know, we manipulated above, broke lower. So my eyes are over here now. My eyes are over here. Question is 5-minute silver bullet protraction. Yeah, I mean, we can look for the 5-minute gap here. We can look for this 5-minute gap to potentially offer a setup that's worth taking. It has to form. Now, if we aggressively break, I won't take it. I won't take it unless it's like a classic market structure shift here. And it'd have to break above this high. If we broke above this high, then I would consider. But as of right now, simply just bearish. No questions asked. I think we can continue here and potentially down there. I think this high is likely safe for our first 30 minutes. 5-minute gap in 2 minutes. So we have to wait for 10 a.m. here, and then we'll go from there. Tried to lose 180 to meet my consistency target, but I top picked the short, and now I'm putting 23k P&L. What can I even do to lose this day? Gold, like short gold, 5 contracts. Hit 5, 4, 10, trade 2 contracts off, that 1 minute inverse. Nice. Could you look at Discord, please? Not right now. Can't find an entry, caught that short. Do you think there was a short entry on NQ? Yeah, there were a lot of short entries. There was an inversion, there was a breaker. Small fair value got tapped. Depends on your model. Nice, Jail. Nice. Was just away for 4 or 5 minutes to get some food and got to the toilet and missed both inversions. Well, leaving 5 minutes in the first 30 minutes is a long time, bro. I can't lie. I can't lie. It takes 1 minute to form a setup, really, so you can't be surprised. Hoping 10 a.m. manipulates into the 5-minute and sells off to at least the 4-hour wick CE below. Yep, that's basically what I'm looking for too. You think it can go lower because the target is away? I think it can still go lower, yeah. It's looking pretty heavy. You were in sales? No, train legs yesterday felt pretty quick. Yesterday was rest day for me. Went right off org fill. Yep, filled org, broke down. It looks like a classic sell now. Classic sell day. So we'll see if the market wants to give us an opportunity. Why did we not hit Asia high? Because we didn't need to. There are no more trades today. Y'all boys call it, man. Go get some food. Already ate breakfast. And there could still definitely be a trade. It's been 30 minutes. You think the day is going to stop right here? No. Quite a bit of opportunity. Now, if we start reaching below here, yeah, that probably just calls it for me. I'd want to be a participant before this objective gets hit, probably. If it does just go down, I'd probably just do a PM stream today. It's not about how long it's been open. We've already hit objectives, bro. It's so far. The only objective we hit is pre-market sell side. We haven't hit a single objective on the higher time frame yet, right? So I still think it can definitely move lower here. We're still working in intraday. We haven't hit any external objectives. Now, if we were hitting daily targets, like this rejection block and this sell side here, that's a different story. But we haven't hit those yet. Do you have a specific model for PM session or just the same model? I don't have, all my models are the same. Okay, it's 10 a.m. now. If we can see a pull higher, that'd be great. 2025 compared to 2024, 2023, 2022. 2022 is probably the best fundamental work that ICT has. 2023 has the most sauce. And 2024 is kind of just putting stuff together, really, that he's been through over many times. Gushazek. My indicator is called the RTH Power of 3 30-minute opens. I do have that sell side labeled. What do you think? What do you think of the charter course? The charter price action models, you mean? Those are good models. I don't really like any of them, if I'm being honest, except number 13, but how are you with the Asia model? The Asia model is done, but I'm going to be doing PM session streams instead of Asia session streams. I want to see us get above this and then potentially break back lower. I don't want to see it stay heavy. I'm going to demand this 5-minute gets tapped if I'm going to look for a short. I want to see it come up here, ideally. Okay, we're potentially, they might give us a short opportunity. A fake market structure shift here. It could be a real market structure shift, but again, I would demand more of a break above here. So for now, still bearish, hasn't changed. Nothing's changed. I want to see a 10 a.m. silver bullet protraction model, one of my favorite textbook models. And in fact, I would need to see it trade this high at least. So it's got to at least come above here. And let's see, yeah. We're going to have to risk just over 500, probably closer to 750. Were you trading NASDAQ or ES? There is not really a pyramid opportunity. It's this breaker is probably the only, I mean, depends where you got short, right? If you entered short on the breaker, there's no realistic pyramid unless your target was here or here. Now, if you were targeting this, you can't really pyramid here. It doesn't make sense. If you're targeting lower, then you could have pyramided here easily, right? Because if this is your range that we're looking for, you can pyramid anywhere in discount, right? Assuming this is your target. Now, if this is your target, this breaker is pretty much the only entry. You go first presentation version, whatever your model is. It has to be somewhere here. So if it was just there, yeah, that's all you get really. And you could have been aggressive. Maybe like if you had a stop here, you moved your stop here, just pyramid. If you moved your stop here on this break, you could have just pyramided at this OB. That was a tape. That was the tape read that we had. And I think like that's maybe a potential missed trade for me. Like I was more bearish still, but wasn't truly convinced. Anyways, 5-minute gap in here. We'll see if we get a clean protraction model. It could soup out this high as well potentially. We'll see. Your first TP, congratulations, brother. How do I lose 28,000 today? I top ticked the short trying to lose 150. Now I'm up way too much. I told you, go gold 5 contracts. Max contracts on gold or silver. You lose a lot of money quick. Unless you win. And you win a lot of money. I don't know how you trying to go from losing 150 to making 28,000 though, but that's crazy, bro. If you were bearish today, a lot of good setup, a lot of opportunity. Nice delivery. Very nice delivery. We'll see if we get a 10 a.m. silver bullet protraction. You're in longs 10:02. Should I break even? I mean, right now, if you're bullish, there's nothing that looks weak about this long. If you're actually bullish, though, right? If you're bearish, obviously different story. But if you're bullish, nothing looks weak about this long as of right now. So that's all really I can say. I'll mark out this gap here. If we get an inversion here, I'll enter short. Let's make this Like we'll make a higher high. Still bearish for me. One side manipulation above 10 a.m. I still think we can continue lower. It probably won't change. We're going to touch this breaker. We're working inside this. We should get sensitive somewhat soon. I think this gap can hold, actually. I'm going to re-annotate this. NASDAQ also inside 5-minute gap. Just wait. I'm going to call my mom. Tell her, bro. Took my first payout on TopStep. How long do you think it'll get to me? TopStep's been slow recently, so I don't know. Usually it's quite better. Okay, potential first trade idea here. Shorting this inversion fair value gap. We need one contract on the mini and one contract funded as well. It's got to break below. NY.AM looks weak. NASDAQ looks weak. Respected. 10 a.m. silver bullet protraction model. Daily power 3 says bearish. Just a textbook setup if it forms. And I'm happy to trade it. So I'm going to just put a sell stop here. +1 tick. We'll take it there if it wants to give us that fill. Because it has an inverse, I'm going to demand a lower low on the candle. Fill. $807. That's the fill I want if it's bearish. All right, we're filled in the short there. So taking my first trade of the day here. Stop loss at the high. The P&L is going to be very high, guys. It's an eval. Don't stress. A lot of people are going to be stressing about that P&L. It's 8 evaluation accounts. So the P&L will be high. But like I said, no need to stress. And we're looking for 788. Potential first objective. Copy trader seems to be working nicely. So what am I looking at here? I'm looking at this candle's body. I want to see what it does. What does it tell me? Does it respect this fair value gap? So far, so good. Do we get speed below this low? Or do we fail to make a lower low? With a body, not with a wick. Those are the things I'm looking at right now. I want to see us get to 10 a.m. open. That should be an easy objective. And then again, we're looking for, say probably here. Now I don't know how much money that is, given the eval, but it's not important. Just take some good trades here. Manage risk. It's the main goal. If we get strong break here, I can move my stop to 813. So over a half risk reduction. So strong break, move stop to here. 813.5. For now, stop is going to stay. Because we could come back into this fair value gap. But once we break below, that's when I'll move the stop to the high. Nope, just need to wait now. See what we do. Trading back into that bearish fair value gap. NY.AM looks pretty weak, which is good. NASDAQ similarly to the S&P 500. Looking at 785 as a potential target, and then best case scenario is 752, but I don't really need that today, so we're just gonna go 785. My best case scenario target, so we'll leave the order at 785. Case scenario. So again, not a break yet. If we break, then we move stop. This is kind of weak. If we get a strong move, can move my stop, and that will be great if I can move my stop by over 50%. So we're risking 12 points, and I'm potentially moving my stop around 5.25, 5 3/4. So a 50% point reduction. I'm considering doing it now. I'm gonna just scan time frames quickly, see if it makes sense. It would be the new 5-minute candle high. I probably wouldn't want to see that flip. Want to see the 5-minute OB. We're going to move the stop to 816. So moving that stop to the potential 5-minute OB. We've already failed the RB. Actually, so I'm going to go 814. 814.5. So reducing my risk to 814.5. This makes it a lot easier for me to hold the trade. So reducing the risk ever so slightly. Stop is 8145. That's the high, the 5-minute rejection block high. Assuming this swing high forms. We haven't formed it yet, but I'm anticipating it does. So we'll just slightly remove the risk. Strong candle here. Don't like that, but it's fine for now. I want to see us respect this price level here. Order block. We can respect that. It's fine. If we make a higher high, don't want to be in the trade. That's why my stop loss is here. I don't want to see a higher high now after making a lower low. That'd be a bullish breaker. Right? So not a good sign to see a bullish breaker when short. Just got to be a little bit patient. See what the market wants to give us today. My TP is at the daily rejection block level. It's a low-hanging fruit objective. Could be sent lower. Could be sent lower. Once we get below this low, that's when my risk will come off completely at that order block. See if we get that or not. Now, obviously, the best case scenario for this trade is all the way down here. That's a 55-point run. That's pretty low. It's pretty low. So that's the best case scenario. Do I need that? No. Could we get it? Possible. Just want to see a lower low here, really. If we get a lower low, we can put the stop here. Realistically, the stop should be here already. What is that? 813.5? 813.5. 813.5. So no pyramids on this trade. Given that this is pretty much the only discount entry we're going to get if this is our target, right? So if this is our trade, this is the only entry we could have. That makes sense. We're not going to enter anywhere in here. So no pyramids. Simply a hold. So just manage the risk. We cut the risk by over half. That's good. Now we just wait. See if it wants to be easy. Yeah, it's slow. It makes sense we're slow, right? Because we want to see speed up here, and it should be not so speedy in here. So it's not the best. Obviously, entries in here would have been a lot better. But the idea is that this high should be safe. So we'll see. NY.AM looks pretty good. A lot better than the others. Coming back into this fair value gap. Pretty strong candle. See if it takes us out. It does. That candle does take us out. So let's cancel our orders here. So losing a little bit more than 50% risk reduction. Move this. Okay. So I'm looking at this. I'm still bearish. I'm going to move to the 10-minute chart. And if we get another sweep and break, we'll be trying that short again. So if we get a sweep here and another break lower, I'll simply be trying again. No 15-minute fair value gap, right? So if we get a resweep, I will try that short another time. And we'll see if we get that. So something like this. Oops. NY.AM looks pretty weak. Everything looks pretty weak still. So we'll see if we do get that. And it may also trade up into here. So that's what I have to see now. I need to see it make a higher high. Should make a higher high. Engineer high, engineer low, move up, break down. That's what I'd want to see. The last 20 minutes have been so odd. It's not odd at all. We took sell side. It makes sense that we're going to see some consolidation. It's not odd at all. Good to know that it would have stopped us out here and here. So it's good that we moved our stop loss. Could have maybe moved it a little bit lower. Probably not. I think that was perfect. Yeah, still looking for shorts, still bearish. I think we're just seeing a deeper retracement into the 15. There's the 15 tap. I want to see this red box get tapped. There it is. Perfect. So we'll see if we get a continuation short model here. And we'll short again, one contract. Target this low and then this old end dog. So 15-minute bearish fair value gap. What do I want to see to click short? CISD here would be pretty good. Treat that as a bearish order block. If it forms, obviously. Pretty strong candle. Pretty strong candle. Where do you find alpha funded after doing verification? Should be your dashboard. Yeah, very strong candle. We'd have a potentially nice inversion fair value gap in here. Potentially. Damn, we got restricted after all this time. See if we get appealed. We had a break. Why didn't you enter? I don't just enter off any break. Any advice, Gatie? 6 month into 6 month in two $150 away from first payout. Keep taking it slow, brother. No rush. I'm looking at this gap. If it inverses, I'll short. If not, probably range bound, in my opinion. Probably range bound. SMT with NY.AM. We moved up pretty high. It does look pretty bullish right now, but I do think we can still make a lower low. So I'm just going to see what happens. What's the risk on this? Yeah, it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be quite aggressive on the risk. 13 points, 13 times. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit aggressive on the risk, but it's fine because we de-risked the first trade. So if we get a break here, I'll be shorting. I'd even probably take 50% inversion here. Don't even need the full thing. 30-second. Yeah, so if we inverse this 30-second, aka if we close below midpoint, I'll short. I'm pretty sensitive at 50%. Doesn't look too weak to me. Stay below this red line. We get a good close here. I'm going to short one more time. That's the 30-second inversion. I'll bring the sell button. I'm going to take it there. I'll be trying this short again. One contract, stop loss at the high. This will probably be my last trade if it loses a full-size loss. Looks like we shorted the bottom potentially, but I like the idea. 15-minute fair value gap. If we're bearish, we shouldn't make a higher high than this. If we do, we're probably not bearish. In which case, I'm wrong and I lose. So I like the short here, 50% of the inversion. Looking for these lows, and again, we're just going to set the TP here. The good news about this trade is we could potentially pyramid. Add one there, am I funded? All right, want to see this inversion hold? Stop is at 8.5. 830.50. Okay. I would love to pyramid. Probably can't do so. Don't see any real opportunity to move my stop loss. So we may not be able to, unfortunately. Have to wait. I want to see 50% here get hit. We could probably move the stop to the top here. 4, 3, 2. Let's say as long as we cover. Yeah, let's go stop to 82725. I think that's pretty safe. So slightly reducing my risk. 827.25 covers the top of the inversion. Next stop move will be 826.5. And once we break lower, we're going to 50% here of the inversion. So I was able to reduce slightly. I think the original stop was 15 points. We're currently at 10.5. I'm looking for 8,550. We still haven't reached 50% of this gap. I'm a little bit cautious in that, but overall, the narrative is strong, right? It's pretty simple. There's no reason to be fearful or anything because it's very simple. If we're bearish, this high is going to be safe, right? If we're not bearish, well, then we're either bullish or neutral. If we're bullish, I'm wrong and I'm going to lose no matter what I do. And if we're neutral, well, that's unfortunate. You know, meaning we take the high, we break, and we do some sideways action until like lunch. So there's not much I can do to control that. Moving the stop to the top of the inversion here. And if we inverse this, I'm going to 50%. So call it 826, 82550. 82550. So I've done my job pretty well here. I've managed my risk as much as I really can. And we're just going to have to hold it there. This low is a pretty nice TP. We up 1R on the day, but I think I'm going to hold. Now, if you want to be aggressive, 50% here is at 821. Yeah, we go 824 here, actually. What is that? 82175. So 82375, 2 points above. 82375 is the new stop loss placement. I like my risk management here. And once we see speed below this low, that's when I'm going to move my stop to the top of this. So this is the trade right now. Just a small gap right here. Still working inside this bullish fair value gap. We haven't gotten through that yet. But again, the goal is 10 a.m. And the goal is this sell side here. See if we get sensitive here. Remove this. Managing risk well today. We'll be down only 125 on the fundeds if this loses. Very good. I'm just aiming for a base hit on the day, which is why I have a TP here. If we get speed below this low, then I can take off risk completely. So if it goes, that's when I'll take off my risk once we make that lower low break, because that's when we should see speed. And yeah, that's it. That's the trade. That's the business for today. Not much more for me to do. Stop is exactly where I want it to be. Swap timeframes here, 5, 4, 3. Yeah, so I'll move my stop loss pretty much there once we get that break lower. If we get that break lower, who knows? Could still be a losing trade. It'll be 819. That's where the stop will go. So not completely risk off, but pretty much. A little bit sloppy, but we do have 1030 coming in here. So see if that offers us some. I don't like that orange box. Looks good so far. I think we'll move the stop here. Let me just double check we're not overlapping with anything. I like the stop there at 819. So stop is going to 819. This candle closes in 30 seconds. 5-minute candle. Don't want to see a higher high in the 5. 819 is the new stop loss placement. So not risk off, but I mean on the funded we're pretty much break even. So stop loss is here, 819. 2-point risk. 0.2R. There's 1030 open. Small move higher and then break was what I would want to see. That would be the best confirmation of lower prices. Nine times 5 is 45. 45 times 2 is 90. Okay. Could pyramid here, but I think I'd rather just stay risk off. A lot of people are fighting in chat. You guys don't need to argue, man. Just take your own trades. Don't worry about what other people do. You guys are like, I make your salary every week, bro. Bro, who cares, bro? You think he cares? You think anyone here really cares about what you do? Nobody does, bro. Just do your trading. Just do your trading, bro. Do business. I'm just really aiming for a winning day here on so what do I need for a winning day? I need round 2. I need a little bit lower than that low. 55. Uh I need 260 on the TP. No, 210. Yeah, 210. It's 150 on Top Step, right? Yeah. So on Top Step, we'll just be taking a partial here pretty much. Anyways, still no run below that low. We did get that move above 10, now break lower. See that 1030 open, trades higher, goes lower. At this point, I kind of want to lock in this profit, I think, at 810 here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to lock in that 7 points. Move the stop to 810. Yep. But don't want to see a higher high, right? That's all that is. So 5-minute candle, that's the most recent high. Don't want to see a higher high. It's going to lock us in some profit. I don't know if we're up on the day or down on the day, 7 points. I think we'll be slightly up on the day. Slightly up on the day. If it goes there. If it hits my stop. So look, the 8-minute time frame, it's beautiful. My TP on Top Step 795. It's a dollar-based take profit level. $7.95. That's what I'm really looking for. That'd be ideal. We're just like barely edging it. It's like literally right here. 795 on my cursor, and we got the fill. So we got the winning day there. Now we're looking for this to potentially run lower. Again, we're just gonna be trailing stops here. Let's go to 809. Sorry, 808. This is where I want to be a little bit more diligent in my management. I'm going to take one partial on the live account there. Just because I pyramided on that. Not looking to close. Not looking to close it. We'll stop to 806.50, right at 1030 opening price. See if this wants to stay heavy. That daily rejection block, that's what we're aiming for, that body low. And I can always manually close the position if I need to. So we're going to hover that sell button. Up pretty nicely on the funded. We're up, yeah, 1.5 hours. Pretty nice. May just trail this here. 796. And hopefully it dives right through. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go 796 and just trail the TP, guys. 796 and just trail the TP. So we'll see if it gets us out right there. Or if it stays open as a breakaway. No, it gets us out. So we're out of the trade there. Pretty good trade. Ending the day pretty nice. Re-entry is possible. We didn't hit that target, but we did kind of slow down right here. 2 candles. Now we're likely to see an inversion here. I'm happy with those executions, I would say. So that's business. No pyramid on this trade, but I did pyramid on my live account. Hit the winning day on Top Step. Copy trader worked. pretty perfectly. Yeah, pretty perfectly. A little bit off, but I think this candle had a lot of speed. So my fill was 796, so it's a little bit off on the trade copier, but for the most part, it's pretty much the exact same. Couple dollars. Yeah, so unfortunately the first one didn't play out, so we lost some money there, but the second one did. So, you know, same setup, exact 2 times. Live account could have been better, but you know, it's good for a de-risk day. Good for a de-risk day. So I have this new journal for my live account here. Trade one. Let me pull up some executions here. I'm gonna show you guys my new journal for my personal funds. Give me a moment here. Pull up the executions. It always lags. It always lags for some reason. I don't know why. Where's my executions? First short, it took 10:07 to 10:16. And then we'll just go trade one here. So, yeah, time in here. So 10:07. I'll give you guys the gist. This is what I'm rocking with right now. Protocol was high resistance safety, so half risk. Trade checklist. I would say we definitely, let's go back and double check. But I would say we definitely followed all 6 criteria on both trades. This was a silver bullet protraction model, 1 minute gap, speed, nice inversion, protected high with a good draw on liquidity, risk market, everything was good. This trade's even better than the first one because it's a nice 15-minute fair value gap. I would definitely say both trades met all 6 criteria. For the risk checklist, we completed our 1% max loss per trade and the 2% max loss per day. We never went down that much money. And the profit checklist, we don't have to do that. Because we're not there yet, so obviously we didn't hit that. We didn't make that much money. This was a midnight protraction, and this was a whoa, Gatie, you have so much shit. Yeah, I do. The 9:30 protraction, AM silver bullet protraction. The first trade was actually inside the macro, right? 10:07. Yeah, so looks like we're gonna hit that potential lower low. So it was a 9:30 protraction model, AM silver bullet. With 10 a.m. open and 9:50 macro. The trade performance, I'm going to give that trade quality. I'm going to give this first trade, honestly, I'm going to give this first trade like a proper, like 8, I would say. Performance, going to give myself a 10. Motion, going to give myself a 10. Improvements on the first trade, not really much. Couldn't pyramid. Did I hold too long? I could argue maybe, but I think realistically it was probably perfect. I'll probably leave that blank for now. And then we'll go here, click plus, and we'll go trade number 2. Follow those 2 things and execute checklist. So risk was half risk, protocol was high resistance safety. Trade checklist, we definitely followed all 3 there. This trade execute, I'm giving this one a 10. All the A+ trade setup, silver bullet protraction model. With a daily protraction. So 9:30 protraction, AM silver bullet, and no macro. Execution was at 10:22. So just 9:30 protraction, AM silver bullet. Performance, I think I managed pretty well there. Could I have pyramided? So I'm going to go back now. I'm going to see, could I have pyramided on this trade? Once we broke that inversion, I could have moved my stop to the high here, which I did reduce. Could have pyramided inside this gap if I was looking here. Probably could have pyramided inside this fair value gap once I moved my stop. It might have put me above 1% risk because unfortunately I am on the mini, but on my live account I definitely could have pyramided. So I definitely could have. Oh, I did pyramid on my live account. What am I saying? No, I did pyramid on my live account. Tripping. Giving myself a 10 here. And then motion 10. Improvements. SL, TP. Maybe TP management on that second trade. Was it smart to close here? No, I mean, I like the trail. I wasn't happy leaving my stop here, though. That's the thing. I wasn't happy leaving my stop, so it's hard to say. I'll just put a note. It's really hard to say. I don't think so. I think that was pretty good because I don't like my stop here, and it wasn't really looking for much more. I mean, I got out at 796, so I was looking for 10 more points, but my risk was 14 points profit. So I didn't feel like that was worth leaving the runner, right? And I think that's correct. So pretty much perfect execution on my end today, in my opinion. How did you guys do today? How did you guys do today? We'll consolidate till 1050. It's gonna be a high resistance move lower. I mean, whether it's, I don't think it's gonna go sideways till 1050. It's probably gonna reach our objective, but you lost 1%. Okay, not bad. 1.3. Best plan is probably not to trade anymore. Now it's too far in a discount, and in my opinion, I don't know how much lower we can go. If we saw more speed here, then this would be more easy to target, but it might be a little bit harder to get that. I'm taking a break because I tilted last Friday. Okay, that's good. Method short. You took because of fear. It was a fear of losing. You're targeting lower. Nice. Yeah, I mean, hey, it looks good. You can always move your stop to every single swing high. I mean, you would have been stopped out here, actually, unfortunately. Alpha standard benefits. You can request up to $15,000 per account. Up 600 for the day. Nice, bro. I killed it today. Got OTE long at 10-11. You took that OTE long? Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Plus 2R today. Took the original short. Oh, nice. This one, nice. If you caught that, well done. If you caught that, well done. Yeah. Good question. When I want to take out one contract of a 2-contract trade, I place a limit order. No? You can do a limit order TP. So you'd have to do a limit order for one singular contract. You can do that, brother. Yeah. So we're up around 700 on the evals, and some of them 1.4. Top step, we hit the winning day. Tradeify, we're just, or take profit trader, we're just working with. I risked 2 micros. Was it good? Depends what your maximum risk is. I think around 2 is probably, sounds like you were lower risk, which is what I like. So I think so good. No trades, missed the short around 950 macro to 943 to be exact, and hesitated on the 1022 range because of bad RR. 1022. RR. Well, what was your target? I thought we talked about risk to reward. Risk to reward doesn't not matter as much as is it risk optimal, right? You already know if you're taking this. First of all, your stop could be here already, so you could already have turned that into, even if your TP is here. Okay, 1R to start. Once you move your stop to the bottom of the inversion, it's already 1.6. If we get a break lower, you can just go break even. You know, so I wouldn't say it's a bad. But we'll review. We'll have a bootcamp meeting. Bro, Tradezilla doesn't sync my trades fast, only after a couple hours. How to solve this? Is it Tradeify sync? Which firm? Apex? No, I'm currently using Lucid evals. No, Apex. Apex will be next CPI. So does Lucid need a buffer for payouts, or is it like Alpha? It doesn't need a buffer, but if you request all the money, you get blown, right? So most firms don't need a buffer, but you basically need a buffer, you know, unless you want to get just one payout, and that's okay. It's Tradeify. It doesn't sync right away. I mean, there's one thing you can do, Ferris. If you really wanted to sync right away, I don't know what the holdup is. Maybe you can ask their support. But you can always, what you can do is if you go to Tradeify, and I'll show you here. If you guys didn't know this, you can, hold on, let me not leak anything. If you go to Tradeify, you can actually download your orders and simply just drag them into Tradezilla, right? And you can automatically sync them. So if you want to do that, you can do that. It was so good, one-sided. Yeah, so now it's a little bit more clear, right? We have an obvious 930 manipulation. We fill that opening range gap. So let's make some annotations here. 930 manipulation higher. Right? We get that breaker. That's your reversal model, right? Yo, if you guys are watching YouTube and you're not subscribed, we're almost at 10K subscribers. That'll be amazing. Which firm will it be good plus new user price? Lucid. I think Lucid has the best discounts. Sell side liquidity, and then obviously we have AM low right here as a AM low, and I'm looking at this as daily RB. Yeah, let's call it risk. I mean, if I want to be diligent here correctly. I was looking for this as a target, that daily rejection block. Yeah, I mean, pretty textbook setup, I would say, right? Not too, nothing too crazy for this setup. I'll make my annotations. How did you guys do today, though? Everyone did good, it seems. Well, most people. I'm hungry. I don't like how that looks. Yeah, I gotta make an annotation. They gotta be clean. Otherwise, I don't like it. I think we'll just mark out the inversion. I don't even need to mark out the fair value gap there. We can just mark out this inversion too. Will this inversion short right now be valid? Yeah, I think it would be valid. 1050 macro protraction model. I can tape read it here with you guys. So if it forms my model short, I'll show you guys what it looks like for me. I won't be executing. Probably a PM stream today. Well, we'll risk some profits. We'll risk around, probably risk 200. So we'll be up at least 1R on the day. Unless we see a really good setup. Is there a 5-minute gap? 10-minute? Man, looking like it's going to be pretty choppy. I probably would not look for this short anymore. So we got out at a pretty good level. I like that. Pretty good trades. Pretty good trades. Obviously, we had the inversion here that we tried. That one failed. But was still a very good trade setup. Now, in hindsight, I could have closed, but we had the bearish fair value gap here that was respected. So I don't think I could have done much better there. Deliver buy side through it and then sell side through it becomes a BPR. So pretty good day, I would say. Pretty good day. It's 1050 macro now. We'll see what that. I would anticipate a run lower, but again, who knows for sure. I'll stay around for some time, answer some questions here. Did you figure out if your Apex, those were blown? Yeah, all blown, so we're working on some new evals. Will this inversion short be valid? This one right here, for me in my model, yes, it would be valid, if that's what you're asking me. Next signal, potentially this inversion, but again, I wouldn't be taking that trade. PM starts at 130. Beautiful day, offered so many shorts. I would agree. So can I link Tradeify leader account to TradingView? My trade copy will still work? Yep, that's what I was doing today. So everything you saw here was copied across all my accounts on Tradeify. Yeah, I mean, I use TradeScale. That's what I used. It worked. Did you figure out, yeah, what time longs low-key might cook? Possible. But was today price action clean and clear for you? After 10 a.m. it was. I was bullish initially, but obviously that bias changed once I saw this break below these lows. And then once we took out this low, I'm looking at, can we have a trend day? If so, I'd want to see this. And this. This inversion could also deliver sell side if it forms. We'll label it. Yeah, so just 2 silver bullet protraction models for me. Textbook 6. One of my textbook models. Nothing out of the ordinary. Which R are we up? 5R, 1.5R. We're up 1.5R. Well, actually, I don't need to label that. So I'm just kind of think, how should we do the stream journal going forward? Pretty clean breaker, if you ask me. 20-minute after market open and I switch my bias as a normal, or I should stick to with my plan even if the trade hits. I switched my bias. You gonna be back for PM? I will be in the PM session today. Yeah, today we'll do a PM session live. Most likely, if I'm trading it, I plan to. But if the market is showing me that I don't want to trade it, I'm not gonna come here and just watch. But most likely, expect the PM session live stream at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Crypto news? No, I didn't see that. How does getting payout on Top Step work? Ideally, you want to build a buffer and 5 winning days. That's a requirement. That's the only requirement. Did you pass the eval? I'm not rushing these evals since I'm copy trading 8 of them. I don't want to full port them. So I'll be doing aggressive where we're currently 25% of the way. 25% of the way past. Yes, correct. Did you blow all the accounts you full port on CPI? No, only the Apex ones. The other 2 were break even somehow, some way. I don't know. $500 risk times 8 accounts equals 4K risk. $500 risk. 3 of them were 1K risk because they're 100Ks. So it would be 500 times 5, 2,500, 3,500, 4,500, 5,500 risk. Switching bias all the time can be considered as not following rules. If your rule is have one bias and stick to it, and if it doesn't work, no trade. Sure, you can. If that's gonna help you be more profitable, then do it. For me, I was going into the day bullish. I saw it was clear bearish. 1.7R. No, a little bit less. I mean, I'm up 700 and 1.4. So if I was risking 500, it's a little bit less than 1. I think 1.4, 1.5R. How do I set up a SL and TP on TradingView? You do manual orders. So right click, buy stop. If you're in a short, that's your stop loss. If you're in a long, that's your stop loss. It looks like SPX want to go 6,800. You know what I want to know? What's the spot contract at? That's what I would like to know. Sell off. Selloffvacation.com. Sorry, but I don't understand. W price action today was pretty nice. I could agree. Set up the charts here for PM. Anything there? Yeah. So the best time to be aggressive is when you're up on the day. I'm already up on the day, so I'm gonna come back and risk 0.25R. I really want to. I'm not gonna take a terrible trade, but like I said, I really do want to. It's the best time to be aggressive because even if I lose 1.4K later today on my eval, we're just gonna be break even, and we still have 4K left, right? So I definitely want to take advantage of that end of day trailing drawdown. I'm not gonna sit here and tape read the rest of the session, so let's start the journal in the Discord. 9:30 manipulation higher. So yeah, it's not too clean. We're up 1.5R, so I think we'll have to keep track of our Discord journaling. would simply R. It's really the only way. So if you guys don't know, I journal every day in the Discord. And meeting will do 11:15. I journal all my trades I take on stream in the Discord. I've been doing so for a very long time. Where is it? Right here. So let's put that in there. 2 trades, both SB protraction. Oh shoot. Net results plus 1.5 R. We'll have to keep track of R, right? Yeah, keep track of R. So good risk management on the first trade. And that's it. That's it for me today. I will see you guys in the PM session. Tomorrow, New York Open. Probably not. I'd be most likely paper trading in the morning and then trading real money in the afternoon. You want a short tip of the previous week low in the PM? Yeah, so I'm going to be looking for... I'm not really interested if lunch delivers higher. It's probably not going to be easy. I'm really just risking and looking for a... what's it called? A PM continuation. My first ever eval is halfway done. Hopefully tomorrow I pass my first. Hopefully tomorrow you follow your rules and you don't get mad if you lose. You continue following your risk plan, and that's the best thing that can happen for you. I'm supposed to hesitate the trade you took. I was confused on the bias. Brother, if you were confused on the bias, you didn't hesitate. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. Don't let the fact that it played out influence your decision. Right? If the bias wasn't clear, the bias wasn't clear. You don't trade. That's what your rules say. Right? Now, if it was clear, but you were scared of losing, that's a different story. Tomorrow, yeah. How much are you up in RR compared to normal risk? These were evals. I'm working on some evals right now. My fundeds are just up 1 ARP. I just wanted the winning day. Live account's up 1%. So I'm confused about your question. It's normal risk. It's just evals. You want a short to previous week on the PM? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Is breaking my consistency rule blow the account? No. You don't need to follow the consistency rule all the time. You just have to follow it until you request payout. Once you request payout, you're all good. Anyways, that'll be it for me. I appreciate you guys coming through the live stream. I'll see you guys live at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, right at the start of the afternoon candle. Let's call it like 1:25, just to be, there a little bit 5 minutes early. Being scared of losing trades, make me close trades earlier. What do you advise? You should read the book Best Loser Wins. I could sit here and teach you everything that he says in the book, or you can just simply pick it up, start reading, build a good habit, and hopefully find some success in that. I would highly recommend you start today. Like, start right now. I know you have at least 15 minutes. Go on Google, search it up. Best Loser Wins, free ebook, PDF, whatever. You'll find it. Start reading it. P&L is a big number, bro. It's a really big number if you want to add up all the accounts. Read that book right now. Don't waste any time. Don't even send another text in the chat. Just start typing in Google. On the fundeds, we're up 1 R. So in total, 150 times 5. I don't know, what is that? If you get Audible, they give you a free book every month, so you can get the book for free. Appreciate it. Do it. You better do it, brother. If you get Audible, they give you a free book every month, so you can get the book for free, basically. Yeah, do it. Anyways, I'll see you guys at 1:20 p.m. Eastern time. Stay safe. Still looking for this and that. Let me quickly check the NASDAQ here. Didn't hit the objective either. Okay. And I will see you guys. Stay safe. How long do you think is optimal time to pass an eval? Last question I'm going to answer. This is the last question. I always get this question. How long should I take, or what should I risk on my eval? Brother, it depends on how much eval you can afford every single month. Okay? If you can only afford 1 account per month, you're going to risk around $200 because you don't want to blow that account in 1 week. You can't even afford another one. So you might as well submit to the full risk management plan that you would, right? Now, if you can afford 10 evals per month, okay. So you're probably going to be risking around 1%, maybe even 2%. It depends what your budget is, right? And your risk tolerance, obviously. If you lose $1,000 on an eval, are you going to go on tilt and blow the other 1,000 for no reason? If so, don't lose 1,000 in your eval, right? Depends on your risk tolerance and how many evals you can afford, right? It's a business at the end of the day. Money in, money out. So that's the answer to that question. I will see you guys live in the afternoon session. Stay safe. Till next time. Peace.